Podcast, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Fridays with Vinnie. It's Friday again. Whoa, can you even believe it? We made it through another week, another garbage week, but next week is Thanksgiving. So you know what? I don't want to hear any complaining out of y'all. I don't want to hear about y'all having to I had to work at McDonald's and get $7.50 an hour for working 12 hours a shift. I don't care. Be thankful for what you get, as in the words of whatever the heck that band was. Be thankful for what you get. I don't remember how that song goes. But remember, brothers and sisters, be thankful. I think something like that. I don't remember. Anyway, this is episode 29 of Fridays with Vinnie. I'm Vinnie. Hi. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're feeling great and sexy, and hopefully you're fulfilling all your fantasies in life, be they work related, or if they're related to your whatever thingy in between your legs that you have. You know what? I'm not here to judge you. I don't care what is dangling in between your legs or not dangling, as the case may be. All I care about is that you all are happy and that you all are living your best gosh dang lives. And yet you're doing well. How are you guys, by the way? Hopefully you are feeling good on Friday. Yeah, it's, as I said, it's a week until Thanksgiving. Or I guess it's a week till Black Friday. The funny thing about, this is weird. I don't know what the news is about it because I haven't bothered looking it up. But on all my calendars, let me just open it up real quick. It instead of Black Friday showing up, what iCloud count? That's not what I want. What the hey? It's not the calendar I use. This is one that's iCloud in the calendar. Where's the calendar go? Open up. My gosh. For some reason, I look up calendar on my screen. Anyway, the point is, on my phone at least, it's instead of Black Friday for the day after Thanksgiving, which it usually is, the wonderful day of the year where we all go out and buy stuff. It says Native American Heritage Day. I gotta look that up and find out what's going on here. Let's hop onto the old Google machine. Black Friday, Native, what is it called? Native American Heritage? Heritage. Oh, here we go. Okay. What is the difference between Indigenous Day and Native American Heritage Day? That'll be some interesting stuff. So, as you guys know, Columbus Day has been changed to what does it say? They called it Indigenous Day, which of course I believe indigenous people were the group like in South America that the Spanish people killed because they wouldn't become Catholic. But so is there a difference there? Because we got like a Native American Heritage Day, which, don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining that they have a day out of the year. Like, they deserve that at least. I'm not going to complain like, oh, you guys get a holiday. When's our holiday? Literally every single holiday in the world is white people's holiday. White people, we get birthdays, we get Christmas, we get Easter, we get Thanksgiving, we get Black Friday, where after being thankful for all we get, we go out and get more stuff. But that's the weird thing, right? You take that holiday, which has such negative, like, nobody likes Black Friday, and instead you turn it to Native Heritage Day. Like, oh, thanks for giving us literally the worst holiday in the world. Appreciate that. Here's an article. Native American Heritage Day falling on Black Friday is poor taste. Yeah, that's what I just said. The day after Thanksgiving is Native American Heritage Day. Some Native Americans say the federal holiday should be moved so it doesn't coincide with the Black Friday shopping holiday. On why Black Friday is the wrong day to honor Indigenous people. Native American Heritage Day should be a day when the nation takes time to recognize our contributions, our sacrifices. I wouldn't call those sacrifices. I would call that more being murdered, what happened to indigenous people, what's still happening to indigenous people. Instead, Native American Heritage Day falls on Black Friday, a day of excess and gluttony and greed and aggressive capitalism, and that's extremely in poor taste. That's what I just said. Am I just a woke genius? Oh my gosh. You guys should all subscribe to my YouTube channel and listen to my music, because apparently your boy Vinnie, he's making strides. I'm having ideas that have already been had, but I'm doing them on my own. So you know what? That means that I am a woke queen. We'll just say that anyway. Hopefully, let me know, guys. Okay, is my mouse clicking annoying? Like my brain is just like on a fritz right now, which is great for the podcast. Because as you guys know, like the last couple of weeks, I felt I was really just kind of phoning it in. And honestly, the reason I do this podcast is to force myself to once a week, do this kind of thing. Because it's good for your brain. I think it's good for your brain to do some kind of creative outlet. I think journaling is probably the best. Like there's been a lot of studies that shown how like writing can connect you with your emotions. I have a hard time sticking with a journal. Because like I said a couple weeks ago, if I'm not making content for you all to see, I feel like I'm wasting my time, which is absolutely not true, but it's hard to change that. But yeah, like I think that this podcast has become a great place for me to get my thoughts out of my head, find a better way to articulate things, and just it's a good mental exercise, and it's just a good way of getting I don't know, I think it's good for my mood especially. Because, like, throughout the week, a lot of times I'll, like, get angry at things. And, like, there's no good way to get anger out of your system, right? Like, I know some guys are just like, oh, just take up boxing, then you can punch things. It's like, do I really want violence to be my go-to way of dealing with anger? Like, I'm raising a kid. I think we ought to try to, like, tone down the violence. Maybe don't condition this boy to be a maniac. It's like, you see, son, what you gotta do when you feel angry, you gotta go hit someone. Go punch the wall. That's what ticks me off. Is like all the time grown-ups, like they deal with like conflict. They deal with conflict by spanking kids or by hitting kids or by shutting them in a corner, and then their kid gets upset and punches a wall, and they're like, how could you punch a wall? How could you hit your sibling? It's like, how do you think? How do you think they learned this behavior? Like, of course, it's also natural. I'm not claiming that, if you raise your kid to be a woke genius like me, that they're going to turn out and just be like, never have any violent tendencies. But, like, imagine how much that would clash in a kid's brain to, like, be like, every time they do something wrong, they get hit. And somebody else does something wrong, they're not allowed to hit them. It's like, you underestimate how much kids think. And I think that's the problem with a lot of parents, is they've grown so much, they've forgotten what it's like to be a kid. And, like, the whole world is designed for people that are so much bigger than them. And, like, they can't express their thoughts and emotions because they make no sense. Because they're experiencing a lot of this stuff for the first time. And that's like, a lot of it is fun and great and awesome, but a lot of it sucks ass. And it's tough being a kid. It's tough being a little kid. I would not go back for the life of me. Even though, like, I often have, like, kind of daydream fantasies like, oh, what would I do if I went back to when I was a kid and knew everything I know now? And, like, it brings up the question of, like, well, would my brain be, like, developed fully then? Or would I, like, have all this knowledge just kind of shoved into a kid's brain? Like, that's a lot to deal with. But, then again, it's hard to say, right? But, it's just, looking back, all the decisions you had to make as a kid seem so much easier than the decisions you have to make now. Because nowadays, like, the decisions are, like, do you work this job that you got, or do you try to get a different one? Either one is a fine decision to make, but, like, it can weigh heavily on you because it's just like, if you go get a new job, you're going to be starting at the bottom of the ladder. Do you really want to do that again? You're getting older. Your back doesn't feel as good as it used to. You don't have as much motivation as you used to. Do you really think you can go back to school? Whereas as a kid, it's like, you have no choice. You got nothing. You got nothing. You got nothing, boy. So looking back, it's just like, well, obviously I should have gone to like the community college we had back in Illinois, because that would have made a lot of sense. I didn't realize I was going to lose that, but also it's just like I had no idea how you went about getting into college, and I feel like it was just expected of me to just figure it out, and I didn't know how. Like, thank God I was able to figure out everything else off of then, but my gosh, there was just nobody to help. And so I just had to like try to like figure out on my own, and it was too scary. It was too scary. So I ended up not pursuing further education, which sucks, because I really wanted to. But what do you fucking do? What do you fucking do? You know what? Life is just a series of big old fuck ups, and occasionally you get lucky. You get lucky and you land something. You land that puck in the hole in the first shot, and it feels good. But it doesn't happen very often. So you know what? If you guys are happy with the decision you made, you gotta cherish that, because that means that either you're a grateful person and you see the bright side out of things, or you got lucky and you made one right decision in your life. And so yeah. Another thing is, like, I remember in my old like videos and stuff, I would always go really hard down on college and further education, like, oh, you're just wasting your money. It's like, no, you're getting out of the house. It's a cheap way, relatively speaking, of getting out of the house, pursuing education, and figuring out who you are as a person. And so yeah, I actually think college is like should become like a publicly funded thing. I know that's a scary thought for a lot of people. And it's going to be difficult because you've already got a lot of private schools. So the question comes into play, like, should these garbage schools, like the Christian school, like Bob Jones University, that freaking racist garbage school, should it become a publicly funded university? Should it get public funding in order for students to be able to go there for free? Part of me says yes. But part of me also says, they need to hire. You need to actually be teaching kids stuff, You can't just have a biology class and not teach evolution and be like, well, I believe doesn't say anything. Or be like, well, we don't want kids to be dating. We don't want black people marrying white women because, wow. Oh my gosh. Interracial dating in Bob Jones University was banned for so long. Like, it was like 2006 maybe that they got rid of it. It's like, man, what a bunch of... It just shows you, like, I think one of the reasons this is on my mind, outside of like the exposed Christian schools has been going on, is the fact that I've been working at a Christian high school here in Rapid, and it's just like it's been getting on my nerves. Like, don't get me wrong, it's my job. I do my job well. Or at least to the best of my ability. But like, when I look at the walls and they've got like things about Quakers, like bunch of like kids doing research reports, and they're being hung on the wall, and one was just like, the Quakers believed in equal rights. Not everything was equal. Women couldn't vote or own property. It's like, there weren't equal rights. What is this? Like, or black people couldn't couldn't get married or have like property or anything, but they were allowed to go to school. It's like, wow, well done. You were slightly better than the other people around you. What does that even mean? Like, we believe in equal rights. We don't think that counts. It's like, my gosh. I'm sure that school has a great science department, given the fact that in their library they have a couple of Answers magazines and a Creation Ministries magazine in there. It's like, yeah, I bet your science is just off the hook. I bet it's just freaking brilliant. I'm sure the kids get out of there and they know all about biology. I'm sure they'll have a great time in college if any of them go to be scientists. But you know what? They're not. They're not going to be scientists. They're going to be engineers. They're going to be, other stuff that doesn't necessarily rely on that, and they're going to think that they know more about evolution than all these biologists who have studied it their whole lives, and they'll be like, no, you're just brainwashed. It's like, yeah, sure kid. You go to Christian school, but then you want to tell everyone else they're brainwashed. Oh, sorry, I don't mean to go off the rails, guys. I am just, as I said, my brain is kind of all over the place. I had a couple of rum and cokes earlier after I got back. This morning, was putting in a new bathroom fan. And I had to climb up into the attic, and it was dusty as hell. My gosh. I moved slightly, and all of a sudden all this dust gets stirred up, and you can just feel it in your nose and throat, and you're just like, oh, this is going to be bad. You know that thing where, like, your nose, you blow your nose, and it's dirt. It's not like, it's boogers, but it's mostly dirt. And you're just like, oh, this is disgusting. Oh my gosh. And I'm sure a lot of it has gotten down into my throat. Hopefully not lungs, because that would be a bad deal. I really should get a mask for these kind of situations. Masks don't work, Vinny. Oh, yeah, you're right. I guess I should just not worry about it. Oh my gosh. I am petty, guys. I've become a lot more petty in my older age. I don't know if this is gonna get worse, or maybe I'll chill out and get better with age. But for now, anyway, I just I tend to be pretty kind of a dick to a lot of people. And you know what? I don't know if I feel like apologizing for it, because honestly, it's just like, I don't know. It's part of it is like, there's a guy I work with who he's super religious, which he's young. He's got time to like figure out who he is outside of religion, but like for now he is not doing that at all. He is just like, every aspect of his life revolves around Christianity and being a Christian. And you know what? Good on you, man. If that makes you happy, great. But like, if it's the third time you asking if I wanna pray with you, it's just like, no, I don't. I told you I don't believe. I'm not a Christian. Why would I want to? People like that think they're being nice, but they're not. They're just disrespecting your belief and your right to not have to be involved in that. And it's difficult to explain, because they see it as doing something really nice or something. Like, I'm praying for you. What would be the harm? Well, maybe there is no harm. Maybe it's just the harm if you ask me how you can pray for me. It's just like, well, I already told you that I don't believe in God. So you choosing to do this is practically just ignoring what everything I said to you. But like, it's very, you gotta be nice about stuff, because like, I don't ever want to come across as like an atheist that like that's all it is to it. Because like, there's a lot more to my beliefs than just that God doesn't exist. That's a large part, but only because it's such a major part of our culture. Like, if God was only a minor part of a few people's belief systems, then be like, whatever. But like, God means something to almost everybody, especially in this area. And so, then you got to deal with that constantly. And then of course people extend that religious belief to their political ideologies. And so you can't argue with their political beliefs, because they are tied in so tightly with their religious beliefs. And religious beliefs are even worse. Because like, you argue with them, it's like, yeah, but I just trust God. I just trust God and who he is. And it's like, good on you, man. Good on you. But like, we're trying to run a society here with like equal rights, and we're trying to respect people. We're trying to like, have justice for all, and liberty and whatnot. And they're like, yo, yeah, I believe in freedom and liberty, but we need to get church. We need to get prayer back in public schools. It's like, all right, man. All right. I'm done. Early this week, because he prays every time at lunchtime, a lot of times. He's just like, you want to pray with us today, Vinny? And it's like, that's okay, man. It's okay. I'm gonna pray to Joe Peshi today. Just did that whole bit, that old George Carlin bit about praying to Joe Peshi. And neither of the guys there had any idea who Joe Peshi was, which neither did I until I looked him up. It was just from the George Carlin bit. That's why I used that name. But it's just like, I told him about who he was, the actor. And he's like, all right, dude, he's like, yeah, I mean, Joe Peshi, he's with us all the time, man. Religious folks tend to get a little bit peeved when you make fun of their religious and kind of, the way they're kind of religious language, which, you know what, I don't blame you. I get it, but also I don't care. I seem to care less and less as I get older. I'm sure I'm gonna become a really fun old man and just be like, oh, let me make fun of everything you kids do. But you know what? For now, I'm okay. I think. I don't know. Hopefully, you guys don't get too annoyed with me. People still have been listening to the podcast here and there. So yeah, apparently it's not as bad as it could be. Anyway, another thing. It's so annoying. Winter's so bad out here. Like, it's bad anywhere. Like, it gets cold, the sun starts going down earlier. You got no time. And it's just like, how am I supposed to have a good mood when I got no sunshine? You get off work and it's already getting dark. It's like, man, it sucks. I actually just saw a thing on Twitter. I was getting rid of notifications on my phone so it wouldn't be bugging me. And I saw one that I think I may need to check out. Let's open the Twitter and see what it is. What is it? Okay, it looks important. Kyle Rittenhouse not guilty of all charges. All of them? What the fuck? What the hell? Okay, don't get me wrong. Kyle Rittenhouse, kind of a young guy. But fuck. If that was a black guy, he probably would have been killed by the police, and then nobody cared. But like, even if he was given a fair trial, the jury would have not found him innocent. It's like, my gosh, I hate how this constantly. All of a sudden, people are just like, he's just a young guy. Oh my gosh! But then you have a black guy in the same position, and they're just like, he looks scary. He looks like a criminal. Oh my god! This sucks. Okay. May contain sensitive material. Oh yeah, you freaking think? The jury in the trial of Kyle Rittenhouse received a verdict on Friday finding him not guilty on all counts of homicide and reckless endangerment charges. The jury heard 2 weeks of testimony and evidence and deliberated for around 27 hours before reaching a decision. Rittenhouse faced charges of homicide and other offenses for the fatal shooting of Joseph Rosenbaum and Anthony Huber, as well as the shooting-related injuries of Gage Grosskreutz. Huber's family released a statement on Friday following the verdict, saying they are heartbroken and angry at Rittenhouse's acquittal. According to Spectrum's News One's Wisconsin, there is no justice today for Anthony or Mr. Rittenhouse's other victims, they said. That was the Friday of... Okay, Huber's family, one of the victims. Rittenhouse shot the man with an AR-15 style rifle. Why did he bring a goddamn AR-15? You know what? Here's what I'm wondering. Why the hell have we not been talking about his dumbass mom who drove him out there? Like, the hell is wrong with you? What the fuck? This was like, I was going to say this on the podcast, but I never got the chance, which sucks, because then I would have it in written form, and you guys would all know how much of a genius I am, a woke genius. But I was thinking just like, he's going to get like 8 months in juvie hall, but no, he got nothing. He ain't got shit. You ain't got shit. Oh my gosh. What a dick. What a fucking and he's gonna go on. He's gonna have a career in politics, isn't he? He's gonna next thing you know, we're gonna have him on the on some political board. Biden on Rittenhouse. The jury system works and we have to abide by it. Oh good. I fucking hate this shit. Oh my gosh. This is such bullshit. Fuck that guy. Like, I was beforehand. I was just like, I was kind of mixed, because it was just like, yeah, he's young. He didn't know what he was doing. Just being a dum-dum. But like, the amount of times I've seen like black people get shot by the police, and then people be like, well, just like, survive the fist, he was doing something stupid and he got killed. What are you gonna do? And then this happens, and they're just like, but he's just a kid. He's my boy. Oh, I am so sick of this, guys. I am sick of this. Freaking, okay. First degree intentional homicide. Yeah, I can understand that. Not guilty. Like, whatever. Attempted first degree intentional homicide. I kind of feel like maybe. First degree reckless homicide. You kind of. Why did they not have any, like, reckless endangerment. He showed up with an AR-15 to a protest going on. You really think you're not going to use that? But you're like, no, I was going to defend my friend's property. Why? Why? Are you fucking retarded? What the hell is wrong with people? What the hell's wrong with white people? They show up with a gun. I didn't know I was going to shoot people. Then why'd you show up with a gun? You can't. If you'd been concealed, I could have done one thing. It's like, oh, he just brought it to defend himself. You don't bring an AR-15 to defend yourself. Oh my gosh. My gosh. Okay. All right. Okay. Coming down off it. All right. I'm sorry, guys. We gotta get the recommendations. Yeah, we gotta. All right. Let's okay. Coming down off it, guys. Sorry. A little bit of a moment of silence there. Not to be. Didn't mean to have the podcast so quiet. I need a minute. Guys. This sucks. Okay. All right. Bottom line, we have fucked up our justice system. Something major. This is just fucking bullshit. All right. Moving on to recommendations, guys. Let's get into that. So album of the week, guys. This is not a new album by any means, and it's not even like an unpopular one. But I've been getting into Green Day recently, like literally this week, actually. It all started with like a video someone made, animated of, because if you pitch up Green Day's songs, it sounds like Phineas. So someone just animated it, which is brilliant. But that got me into Green Day a little bit. And so if you are like me and have never really listened to them outside of a couple of their hits, check out the album American Idiot. It's from 2004. It's a good album. It's good. Check it out. Why don't you? Podcast. I don't know if I recommended this before, but because we had so much of me being a woke genius in this episode, I figured a good episode to recommend would be I Am Not Comfortable With This. That's the name of it, right? Who is it again? It's by Forrest Valkai and Ben. Yeah, I'm Not Comfortable With This. It's a podcast every week. These two guys, they're really smart. They're really good at explaining stuff, and you know, the one guy has what is he? I forget what he's studying. It's hard to figure out information about these guys because they kind of blew up on TikTok and then started the podcast. And I don't think it's super popular, but I've been really enjoying it every week. I figured just whatever the recent episode is. The most recent one, they talked about Kyle Rittenhouse. So if you want to listen to that one, get a little more insight on it, do that, because I don't have that much to say. I don't have that. Honestly, at this point, I don't have anything else to say about it that hasn't been said by people before. Don't get me wrong. I'm tired of a lot of like the woke people, because like they get facts wrong and they refuse to like acknowledge it. And you can't if you're going to get stuff wrong, you got to be careful if you're going against the mainstream, because you say one thing wrong and they're going to hold that against you. So you got to be willing to take the time to do your good research. And I think that's really what these young people recently have been missing, is that you got to be careful. You can't just immediately get outraged and tweet about it. You got to take some time to think about it. And honestly, it might not even need your opinion. It might not even need your input. And I know that's difficult because everyone else is giving theirs, but for the sake of like your own self-image and your own mental sanity, take a moment. I don't know. Anyway, that's not really doesn't really say much about the podcast, but I really like it, so check it out. Why don't you? Anything else? What else have I been watching? I don't know. I started watching Gravity Falls like in its entirety for the first time. I've seen most of the episodes, but like I finally sat down and started watching it, and it's a really good show. But I think something I've only seen clips from it. I need to check it out. Maybe I'll recommend it next week. But on Netflix, Alex Hirsch has a new show. It's called Inside Job, and it's hilarious, at least from what I've seen of it. I can't really recommend it, but I think it's good. Probably, right? I think. So far what I've like read about it and the clips that I've seen, it seems like it's a really well done show. So yeah, if you want to check that out, go ahead. I don't necessarily recommend it, but only because I want to see it first. I've got to try it first. All right, guys. I think that's about it for this episode, guys. I'm going to get back to editing YouTube videos. I've been working my butt off trying to record some stuff and get back to YouTube. So there's going to be some live action stuff as well as some Twitch clips coming up soon-ish. So yeah, if you're watching on the YouTube, subscribe already. Why don't you? I don't know. I honestly hate asking people to subscribe because like who cares about like the algorithm? What other show does that? Like, you don't go on Netflix and they're like, make sure to rate this 5 stars. Like, no, they just make a good show and people don't worry about it. But because on YouTube, all these computers have been taken over from other countries, it's just like you got no quality assurance. You got nobody gatekeeping, making sure that that the only thing out there is good, which is kind of the whole charm of YouTube, but it has not aged well. It has gone downhill, not gonna lie. But I don't know. Maybe that's gonna change in the future. Maybe people get tired of being asked to like, share, subscribe, and realize that it's really not effective at all. I know all these experts, these YouTube experts are like, you gotta ask people to subscribe within the first 20 seconds. Like, no, you don't. No, you don't. People know how subscribing works. Unless they don't really watch YouTube, in which case, who cares? You're just going to inflate your numbers artificially, and that's not, it's not worth doing. Okay, all right. I feel like I'm speaking a million miles a minute, and that is no good. So I'm going to get back to editing, finish my coffee, maybe have a Russian mule or something. Anyway, a Moscow mule is what it's called. Anyway, point is, thank you guys, as always, for watching this episode. As always, I love you. Love yourselves. And I'll see you next Friday. Have a wonderful weekend and have a great week. And remember, you may suck, but you'll never suck as much as Kyle Rittenhouse. Fuck that guy and fuck you. Peace out. Bye.